The movie kicks off with Pelle, our main dude. He's this super shy, quiet 12-year-old with zero friends. Seriously, he's like invisible, feels like a tiny ant in a massive anthill. Oh, and he's got a secret crush on Amanda, one of his classmates. She's like totally popular and has no clue Pelle even exists. Then there's Amanda's sister, Ida, same class. But she's the total opposite of Amanda. Amanda's all proper, while Ida's loud and just doesn't care what anyone thinks about how she looks. One day after school, Pelle's just munching on an apple when he hears some ruckus. He peeks around and sees two bullies picking on some kid. Without even thinking, he lobs his apple at him to try and stop it. Bad move though, because they spot him and start chasing him. He runs for it, manages to ditch him by hiding in some bushes. All of a sudden, an ant crawls up his leg and bites him. He feels a quick itch but shrugs it off. Once he figures the bullies are gone, Pelle pops out of hiding and finds himself in front of this old house. Wham! Same ant bites him again, this time on the neck. This time though, Pelle gets all dizzy and just collapses. He sees someone coming closer, but before he can even tell who it is, he's out cold. Hours later, Pelle wakes up and it's nighttime. He's freaking out, rushes home, and just crashes. No dinner or anything. Then he has this dream. Thousands of ants just swarming him. Wakes up totally freaked, convinced something awful is about to go down. Next morning, Pelle wakes up and sees chocolate smeared all over his face in the bathroom mirror. He leaves his room and is shocked to see empty wrappers and packets of snacks and sweets everywhere. At breakfast, he grabs a milk carton, pours some milk, and then the box just sticks to his hand. Like, super stuck, his dad has to help pull it off. After that, he tries to drink juice, but as soon as he touches the glass, it just shatters. His parents are obviously baffled by all this, but they still send him to school. At school during sports, Pelle accidentally breaks the door trying to open it. Then he manages to knock his teacher down during practice. After school, as Pelle's heading home, another student, Wilhelm, comes up to him. Turns out Wilhelm is the kid Pelle saved from the bullies earlier. Wilhelm thanks Pelle for helping him and brings up Pelle knocking down the teacher. He even wonders if Pelle has superpowers, but Pelle denies it.
Are you a mutant?
No.
Come on, no?
Just then, they notice this weird guy across the street, just staring at them. Pelle feels super uncomfortable with that intense stare and quickly heads home. In the next scene, we see that same guy at his house, reading news about Amanda's dad. Turns out he's the director of a biomedical company called Exo Farms. The next day at school, Pelle tells Wilhelm about the ant bite and all the weird stuff happening, and asks for help.
Can you help me?
Wilhelm gets all excited.
Of course I will.
He takes Pelle to his house to help out. They do all these experiments to see if Pelle has powers and get some wild results. Then they start designing superhero costumes for Pelle to wear while he's fighting crime. With this new info, Pelle and Wilhelm head to a dark parking lot where crimes happen a lot. While waiting for something to happen, they decide to call Pelle Antboy. Wilhelm goes to get them some food, leaving Pelle alone in the lot. Suddenly, he hears a woman yelling for help, her purse stolen by a robber. Pelle, in his Antboy costume, wastes no time chasing the guy. But the robber just thinks he's some kid playing superhero and starts making fun of him. This spooks Pelle, and he starts backing away, but then he just crawls up the wall like an ant. This totally freaks out the robber, and he realizes this kid isn't normal. He tries to get away, but Pelle easily takes him down. A bit later, Wilhelm comes back with the food and is surprised to see cops leading the robber away. So Pelle pulls Wilhelm aside and spills everything. He tries to show off his wall-crawling skills to Wilhelm, but it totally backfires and he just falls. When he gets home, Pelle's wondering why he couldn't crawl earlier. Wilhelm figures it's cause Pelle's low on energy and suggests he eat some sweets to get his powers back. Later, Wilhelm also tweaks Pelle's costume, adding a belt for candy and a smart glove connected to a phone. As time goes by, Antboy gets famous for fighting crime and helping people, all while keeping his identity a secret. He becomes a hero for kids and teens, even stopping bullies in schools. Pelle, meanwhile, is stoked because he's finally popular. Wilhelm, though, warns him not to get too big for his britches with all the newfound fame, saying a real superhero cares about doing good, not being famous. but Pelle just blows him off. Then the movie cuts to Amanda, happily putting up Antboy posters in her room. Suddenly, super loud music blasts from Ida's room, startling Amanda. They start bickering about it, and as Ida leaves, Amanda sees the reflection of a man standing by the window in her mirror. She turns around, sees him, and screams. Ida hears her sister scream and rushes to help, but by the time she gets there, the strange man has already flown off with Amanda. The next day at school, Pelle's bummed because Amanda's not there. After a bit, students rush to the side of the building and see someone hanging from the roof. Antboy zooms to save the person, but when he gets there, it's just a doll. Turns out, Ida put it there to lure Antboy so she could talk to him privately. When they meet, Ida shows him a video of Amanda trapped inside a glass box and asks for his help. Ida then tells him about this guy called the Flea who kidnapped Amanda and sent the video to their dad as ransom. Flea wants $20 million and for their dad to step down as director of Exo Farms. Since Pelle's got a crush on Amanda, he doesn't even hesitate and immediately agrees to help Ida. In the next scene, Antboy takes Ida to Wilhelm's house. Wilhelm's shocked because they promise not to tell anyone their secret. He also thinks Pelle is taking a huge risk bringing another friend into it. But Pelle convinces him, saying Ida doesn't know his real identity and they can trust her. After that, the three of them watch Amanda's video from the Flea. Wilhelm says Ida and Amanda's dad reminds him of Lex Luthor, a villain from DC Comics. This pisses off Ida and she defends her dad. A fight breaks out between them, but Antboy calms them down. He then asks Ida about who might be the kidnapper. Ida thinks it might be someone who wants to take over their dad's company, Exo Farm. She also mentions she doesn't know much about the company, except that it makes medicines and vaccines for incurable diseases. As Ida's explaining her theories, Antboy suddenly smells something weird and realizes it's from Amanda's necklace that Ida brought with her. Realizing Antboy has a super sharp sense of smell, the three try to use this power to find Amanda. Their search leads them to the exact spot where Pelle was bitten by the ant earlier. Wilhelm tells them that an old lady, Mrs. Geimelra, owned the house, and her body was found 2 weeks after she died. Despite the creepy story, Antboy goes into the house and reaches the basement. There, he finds a lab with all the equipment for research. As Antboy explores further, he suddenly sees Amanda trapped in a glass box. He tries to save her, but just then, the Flea appears out of nowhere and traps him in another glass box. Frustrated, Antboy tells Flea to release Amanda, but Flea says he's getting revenge on Amanda's dad for ruining his life. The movie then flashes back to Flea working as a biochemist at Exo Farms. He's researching a different type of ant called Formica aquilonia, which has a rare chemical that helps cure various human diseases. After a lot of study, Flea creates a new effective serum from the ants. He uses his sick mother, Mrs. Gamera, for the first test, and injects the serum into her. The medicine makes her tumor shrink, and her health starts to get better. Okay, so Amanda's dad totally shuts down the research because of budget issues and fires Flea, apparently for trying to shake up his position. Soon after, Mrs. Gamera passes away, leaving Flea absolutely crushed. So he starts cooking up this whole revenge plot against Exo Farms and Amanda's dad. To kick off his plan, he secretly works on a new blood-sucking headlouse species. After a few weeks, he finally extracts a serum that gives him super strength and the ability to fly. Just like Antboy gets his energy from sweets, Flea gets his strength by drinking blood. Meanwhile, back in the present, Antboy learns that the ant that bit him was genetically modified by Flea to create a healing serum for his mom. Flea then starts playing mind games with Pelle, telling him Amanda doesn't actually like him, she just likes Antboy. He also tells Pelle that Wilhelm is only pretending to be his friend because of his superpowers. Flea keeps intimidating the kid, stressing that he's a nobody. All of Flea's words really get to Pelle, and he looks totally dejected. He starts thinking about how no one ever notices Pelle, and how people only remember Antboy when they need something. Elsewhere, Wilhelm somehow overhears Flea and Pelle's conversation and calls the police. Unfortunately, Flea manages to fly away and escape the cops, leaving Pelle and Amanda still trapped in their glass boxes. Pelle, on the other hand, decides to stop being Antboy since he couldn't save Amanda, but Wilhelm convinces him not to give up since Flea is still out there. Pelle refuses to listen to his friend's advice and gives Wilhelm his mask, daring him to save the world. The next day, Flea attacks the school, just like Wilhelm predicted. Wilhelm tries to encourage Pelle to defeat the attacker, but Pelle just doesn't want to be a superhero and leaves it to the police. With no other options, a super brave Wilhelm puts on Antboy's mask and heads off to confront Flea with a can of bug spray. But since he has no superpowers, Flea immediately manages to kidnap him. Realizing his best friend is in danger, Pelle quickly puts on a replica of the Antboy costume and rushes to save Wilhelm on his bicycle. Antboy follows Flea to a forest and finds Wilhelm tied to a tree trunk. He manages to free his friend, but just then, Flea appears. The two kids immediately run for their lives and come up with a plan to defeat the villain. Pelle manages to trick Flea by ditching his Antboy costume on the ground. Just when Flea's distracted, Wilhelm sneaks up behind him and opens the plug of the blood container, which is Flea's power source. This time, Pelle's way more confident because he has his best friend's support. He bravely fights Flea and eventually defeats him. Soon, the police also show up and arrest Flea, who is revealed to be Dr. Guymelra. Later, Pelle goes to Amanda's room as Antboy, and she thanks him for saving her. She tries to kiss him, but he backs away and asks for Ida. This rejection totally shocks Amanda, but she calls Ida to the room and leaves. After Ida arrives, she reveals that she knows he's Pelle and promises to keep his identity a secret. The movie ends with Pelle and Wilhelm discussing a new costume and the possibility of another superhero existing. So yeah, that was it from the video. Hope you liked it. Subscribe for more stuff like this and hit that like button to help us out. Also, leave a comment if you want us to recap your favorite movie. Until next time, take care.